How many of you know what this is? And how many of you know who this is? It's been a minute, but Dr. Mod's back with something really cool and really new. Because if you love this, then you are definitely going to love this. Dr. Mod, it's been a little bit.
It has been.
Where you been?
Deep in the lab.
Deep
around.
in the lab. What is the most requested mod for Drmodslab?
Hands down, the most requested mod has been a PS2 Slim mod.
A PS2 Slim mod. Now, if you remember, we have kind of already gone over the original PS2 mod and the PS3 mod. And you're right. I mean, the amount of requests that I get for you to do a PS2 Slim, I could only imagine the amount of requests that you actually get, because I get tons of.
Oh, yeah.
So I would venture to say that this may be the smallest original PlayStation 2 that I've ever seen. Is it? Do you know? Is it the smallest PlayStation 2 that exists right now?
As of now, in the year 2025, I would say this is the smallest someone has been able to get a PS2 to be.
So if you are looking for the all-inclusive PlayStation 2 experience, this is definitely going to be it. This is it. This is the moment that everybody's been waiting for.
Yes.
I have it right here. This little device right here is the world's smallest PlayStation 2. But let's make one thing very clear. This is not an emulation device.
No, it's not.
This is actually a PlayStation 2 inside here.
There's PlayStation 2 hardware in there.
This is actually a PlayStation 2. We're about to go over the whole thing. So let's start at the very beginning. In the very beginning, we were talking about the PlayStation 2 Fat mod. And basically what that was is you use the GameStar network adapter.
Yep.
And you can put a spin-up hard drive in there. Combine that with the free McBoot memory card, and you had a PlayStation 2 that could house an entire collection, or in the early stages, not quite an entire collection, because the hard drive, you couldn't put a big enough hard drive in there. But as time went on, that mod continued to get better and better, and you could put what was the largest hard drive that could fit inside this?
For the longest time it was 2 terabyte, but now we know that we can go up to 16 terabyte.
Okay, 16 terabytes.
And that's what I'm working on next too. That's what's after this is working on that, but it's possible. I've tested it already, started the early phases of testing that, and it's going good so far. But
let's talk about these little devices here, because they're very interesting looking. What exactly is this thing?
So, it's a 7900 model PS2 Slim. And, I've been following a project on BitBuilt, and one of them was making the PS2 as small as it can be. So somebody made the PS2 Ultra Slim, kind of with this shell. And it is really cool because the way they did it, the board of a 7900, it's about this big, about these dimensions.
So when you take apart a PlayStation, he's talking about when you take apart a PS2 Slim and you pull the actual board out of it.
The board out of it, yeah. The board is actually about this size, except it had a little appendage here for the second USB port. And so somebody figured out how to cut that out, rewire, so you had power to the USB port here still. And then also a way of making the old disc door sensor, turning that into a power button.
Yeah, I was just going to ask what was going on here.
Yeah, and it was genius. And so they were able to make the PS2 this small. And then there's been revisions to it on how to put USB-C power into it, how to put HDMI into it.
Because I did notice on some of these, if you look at the back, we have the original PlayStation 2 Slim, which is that old traditional classic yellow power adapter.
Yep.
And then as we go up the line here, this one says Tofer.A.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to that. As we go up the line here, it's now USB-C.
Yep, and HDMI.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna get to next. Actually, is this original one has all the original ports on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then as we look at something like this, that actually has HDMI and USB-C.
You know, they would make this mod run on an SD card, and it would be wired to the memory card port because it can read faster than USB. So one of the problems...
Memory card port?
The memory card port reads faster than a USB port.
Okay. Now, granted, the USB ports on a PlayStation 2 they're older.
Yeah, it's older. And so one of the limitations in emulation using USB was it was too slow, the ports on these. So the gameplay wasn't perfect. It wasn't, you know, great compatibility. When they found out you could run it from the memory card, that's when we found out games could pretty much run perfect. I mean, near perfect from there. And so you could run stuff on these consoles that you could run on a FAT.
Yeah.
And what I did differently this time with this mod is I wanted to integrate something that's come out pretty recently, and that is the SD to PSX adapter, and in this case the PSX Mem card Gen 2.
Okay.
So this is a memory card that has a screen built into it that can boot free McBoot, kind of like our old mod there.
Just like this guy here.
And this allows you to put your games on it on an SD card. And you can play all your games on this memory card. What I wanted to do was integrate, this is a relatively new thing, I wanted to integrate this memory card into the PS2.
Okay, well, let me, real quick, this memory card, so just so I have it straight, and so everybody else understands, this memory card has a screen on it, and it has a micro SD card slot.
Yes, it does.
So you can take, you can make backups of all your PlayStation 2 games, put them on the SD card,
It's drag and drop.
run them without modding the console
At all. Yeah.
It just plugs right into the memory card slot.
Yep, it plugs right in.
That's it.
That's it. And it's drag and drop, meaning
Okay.
you got your files on your computer, you simply drag it into a folder, and there it is. Plug it into your PS2, and you're playing the game you want.
All of your backups
Exactly.
popped onto an SD card, pop this thing into,
Yep.
I didn't know this existed.
This is the biggest thing, I mean, since Free McBoot.
I see where you're going with this. Okay, so you wanted to just like basically take this and mix it with this tiny PS2 mod.
Yep.
Okay, I see where you're going.
So instead of putting a hard drive in it, which I had originally planned to do in the past, which was
no need at this point.
Why now? Because this is much smaller
Uh-huh.
and can do the same thing. So what I did is I contracted a guy on Fiverr that does 3D designs, and I showed him and I drew how I wanted the design to be and did measurements and stuff, and he helped me come up with a model that I could 3D print on my printer. And that's what you see right there in front of you.
That's exactly what this is.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, what are these little screens?
So these little screens...
If you noticed on all of these tiny PlayStation 2s, there's little tiny screens.
Yep. So that's the memory card integrated into it, into the console. So here, I mounted the memory card here and here on these models. This is the first one I made. And I put the PS2 logo on it. I thought that was cool. And then later, I thought, well, I'm going to make you one. So I made your own personal one, put your name on it. And this one's cool because we added some more features to it. We added the USB-C and the HDMI.
So you were constantly iterating.
Yeah, so this was another model that was on BitBuilt that had the mounts for the USB-C and the HDMI. And so it keeps evolving, this model.
Yeah.
You know, and then I said, you know what? I want to make this mine too, you know, and add some cool changes now that we have this guy here. And so what we did is this guy that you have right here. This is the one that I had designed.
Would you say this is the perfected model so far?
As far as my vision of it, yeah.
What exactly does this display show?
It shows what game you're playing.
Okay.
What software is operating, like Free McBoot. So when you load Free McBoot, it shows Free McBoot up there on the screen. So pretty neat. And then one of the things I wanted to change about it is, you know, I thought it was genius that they put the power button here where the disc door was, but I kind of wanted to make the PlayStation logo be the power button.
Yeah.
So here I mounted a tactile switch that operates the power button. And so the PlayStation logo here, that's the power button.
Okay.
And you just click that and it turns on. If you look here on the bottom, I had a mount made for the memory card here, the chip of the memory card.
Okay, so the memory card is actually sitting in right
on the very bottom.
In here somewhere.
Yep.
And you just move the screen off of the memory card to the front.
To there, yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay.
and then what I did is, well, hey, we lost the power light, right? So how do you know the thing's on, besides having the TV on? Well, I integrated a light underneath here that lights up the PlayStation logo. And so it's on. It looks really cool.
Both controller ports.
Uh-huh.
So you have both controller ports. You do still have a memory card port.
Yep.
With this mod, do you need a memory card to save?
Really, it's got a 2 terabyte card in it.
Right.
So it's got
And the game saves will dump to that
Oh, yes.
SD card.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So you got unlimited save space.
And then you have access to the SD card.
Yep.
And then what all do we have on the back? We have it's an original PlayStation 2 board.
Yeah.
So everything that would be on that board is also here. You just added USB-C power and HDMI.
So it's got HDMI, USB-C, and then you still have the AV port if you did want to use that. It's still functional. And yeah.
Is there a fan inside here?
Yeah, it has a fan built into it on the mother.
The motherboard still has a fan on it.
It still has a fan.
Wow, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's tiny. It's basically the size of an NES cartridge.
So yeah, we actually have a shell here.
Yeah.
So you can see it, and you printed this one in white, which I think is awesome looking.
Yeah, it was one of the colors they did. So yeah.
Look at that. So the PlayStation 2 Slim fits inside this.
Into that tiny shell.
And I'm looking at this thing now, how you had it designed. What a cool design.
Yeah.
Like, that is so neat. I love that white color, by the way.
Yeah.
So wait, is this like printable in multiple colors, I assume? You got red, white, there's black?
Any color. I
Any
can put
color.
it any color. And then, the way I left it too, I can put any, like you saw, I put your logo here.
Yeah.
I could put any logo on there, I could put a, bunch of different.
So cool. Okay, so I'm noticing this one's different.
Yeah, it is.
Let's talk about this real quick. What is this guy?
So this one's a 7000 model PS2 Slim.
And let's explain to people just so they understand. There's multiple models of the Slim. Maybe a lot of people don't know this. How many models of the Slim are there? Do you know?
Well, there's several, and they go from the 7000 model to the 9000 model.
Okay.
And so there were several iterations, and so this is the first generation PS2 Slim, and so the motherboard is that big.
You're right.
Okay? It's a bigger motherboard. When it got to the 7900, the board is just a lot more smaller, and the disk drive was separate. And on this one, the motherboard goes all the way across, and then the disk drive is on top of a section of it.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest problems with the PS2 Slim is the disk drive.
Yeah.
They failed for multiple reasons. A lot of it being the laser or the little door switches. They had two little switches that activated, and those would go bad.
Yeah.
And so it was a major problem with the PS2 Slim. I used to refurbish them, and they always had disk drive issues. So, what I wanted to do was make a driveless one where you don't have to deal with that drive anymore.
Yeah.
Slim it down a tiny bit, and then put that same mod into it. So this one has the mod minus the screen.
Okay.
And I tried to make it subtle. The SD card slot is actually right here in the middle of the vents.
So right in the vent.
Right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, this is quite literally bringing a console from 2001 into a modern era of 2025 with USB power, with HDMI, with all of these, with SD card memory.
Yeah.
That's really the focus here of these things, is like, that's the craft in this.
Yeah.
It's so neat to watch.
I mean, look how big.
How it has evolved.
Yeah.
It just very, very cool. So my next question is this possible or is there a variation for every version of the PS2 Slim?
Yeah, so I mean, for a 7900, you can do this to it, and so you kind of need that model to be able to.
That's the best one.
Yeah,
and how do people know what model they have?
On the bottom of your PS2 Slim, you'll see a number on the back, a model number, and you're looking for the model number 79,000, and that's the one you're looking for. And then anything from 7,000 to 7,700, you could do something like this, and it'll be a bigger shell, but still you can. Put one of these inside and have everything run internally.
Yeah. The next question, and I'm sure everybody's dying to know, what kind of costs is accrued in building one of these things? Let's say somebody does have a 7900, and their disk drive is broke or whatever, or maybe the disk drive isn't broke, but they want to do this. What is something like this, what kind of costs are accrued? Well, if you're versus, different models?
Well, if you're going to make like something like this, it's just the cost of the plastic for the shell. So if you got a friend that has a 3D printer, or you have a 3D printer, you're talking about a few a few dollars to make the shell, you
Mhm.
know, and then getting one of these guys, they run about anywhere from, well, if you get them on AliExpress, they can be in the 20s sometimes if they're on sale, all the way up to close to 40 on Amazon. You can get these on Amazon, and so you're looking basically at the cost of the console, the shell, and this.
Yeah.
So not too much actually.
Not very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to build your own,
If you want
right?
to build your own, and yeah.
So if somebody wanted to buy one of these ones from you, is that something that you're offering?
I mean, yeah. I mean, if somebody wanted to get, wanted a shell, to be able to do their own project, we could do that, and we could do it in any color. We could put anything they want.
So you would offer just the shell?
I'd offer the shell too.
Okay,
If
if like
somebody wants
custom shell, like mine,
Yeah.
the one that he made for me is obviously in my colors, and it says Tofer.A.
Yeah.
How difficult is this model?
Well, it did take a lot of soldering to do the wiring,
Uh-huh.
for the lights, for the screen,
To bring the screen up from back here, and put the lights in.
to wire this to the
Yeah.
memory card port. It's kind of a spaghetti mess in there.
Yeah.
But I worked.
So I was gonna ask, like,
Yeah.
what's the?
There's a lot of wires.
There's a lot going on in there. Yeah. How long does it take you to build one of these?
A couple hours.
Couple hours.
The shell's already done. It takes a couple hours. And it's a lot of it is just it's soldering wires from one point to the other. So soldering the wires for the USB-C port, soldering the wires for the HDMI, the memory card, the screen. It's a lot of soldering involved. So it's for somebody that's new to soldering, may not be the best project of choice to start with.
Yeah. So I shouldn't do it.
But I got to tell you, when the finished product is something else. I mean,
Yeah, this is really fantastic.
we ended up putting this in it for the HDMI adapter, and it's the Electron Analog by Electron Shepherd. It's really easy to wire, just a few wiring points, and it wires to the board of the PS2. And the picture is amazing. So when we hook this up to your monitor, you're gonna see how crisp everything looks. No fuzziness. The colors look great. So I actually really like this product. It's awesome because it's going to allow us to put HDMI into these. A
Right.
PS2 Fat can have it. An Xbox, an OG Xbox. I'm going to be putting this in an OG Xbox. I'm going to put this in a Dreamcast. So that you can actually put HDMI in a lot of consoles with this thing. But it's tiny. Look how small it is.
Yeah, look at that. Huh.
And
Okay.
it uses your console's own power, to it, to
Mhm.
power it. And I'm just amazed with the picture. It looks great.
That's cool.
And very easy
What
to.
does something like that cost?
It's not much. It was $18.
Wow.
It's less than most upscalers, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
I mean, that's substantially less than
Yeah.
most upscale. I would say a good upscaler is $30.
yeah, and it's
At
well
least.
made. It's well made, and it just allows you to put something modern into your console and get a much better
Yeah.
picture. So I'm a big fan of it.
If somebody wanted to like just buy one complete, all modded, that lights up and everything.
Oh yeah, I mean, if anybody was interested in wanting to own something, one of these, I could definitely
Okay.
provide.
And
Yeah.
what if somebody had like a real special attachment to their PlayStation 2 Slim, which was the correct model? Could they provide the PlayStation and know that like the guts of their PlayStation is
are living on and
are now living on, and kind of like you did with
Yeah.
my my Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I love that. Those are my favorite projects because
Those are definitely my favorite projects.
it's preserving your console and then making it more playable, making you want to use it more, right? And I'm all
Yeah,
for that.
definitely.
So, to me, what I love about this is that this is not going to take up a lot of space in your shelf. It's true hardware in there. It's true PlayStation hardware. You're getting the PlayStation experience, and you have all the modern stuff, so you can run on your modern.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, right? Obviously, we always talk about this is like preserving the actual hardware.
Yeah.
Don't throw it away just because your disk drive has broken, or just because maybe your jack broke off in the back or something like that. I've had that happen before. It's likely that if your PlayStation 2 or one of your other consoles is not working anymore, it's fixable.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Or it's at least transformable into something more modern and cooler. It can totally be repurposed, and so you really shouldn't toss that sort of stuff. This is such a great option for someone like me who wants to stream PlayStation 2 games.
Yep. Exactly.
Because the HDMI is there, it's small, it's powered with USB-C. I can pop this thing into my streaming setup, and I can stream PS2 games.
Yep. And when you look at it, you go, "Oh, this is just like the Pi 64. You got a computer in there."
It's not.
No, it's not. That's a real PS2.
That's the thing that really needs to be understood about this project.
Yep.
is it is very much this is original hardware. So the games that are playing on this, they're playing on a PlayStation 2. Unlike the Pi 64 or some of the other Pi things that we've shown, that are emulating the console, this is not. This is actually a PlayStation 2 inside here, right? It's the perfect thing for someone like me who is introducing their kids to the PlayStation 2 library, and they're just like, here you go, plug it in, play the games, have at it. You know, how big of an micro SD card does it support?
So I've tested up to 2 terabyte, and that's what this has, is a 2 terabyte.
2 terabyte.
And it so basically, essentially, it's like the PS2 Fat Mode, right? Except it's on this tiny little guy.
So I would imagine load times are like
it's quick.
Drastically
it's so quick.
Increased.
Oh yeah, it's quick.
And like how many backups would you say?
Just putting strictly PS2 games on there, I was able to fit 600.
600.
Yeah, of my backups.
600 of your favorite PlayStation 2 backups.
Yeah,
that is just, it's so cool.
Thanks, man. I've been working on this for months.
I was gonna say, it's been, I think the last Drmodslab has been probably a few months.
It has been.
This is what you've been plugging away on.
One of the things I've been plugging.
Yeah, I know there's more. There's some sitting right over here that I'd love to talk about. So there you go. That's what this thing looks like. I mean, it is a PlayStation 2. It is the original PlayStation 2 experience, which now holding this thing in my hand, look how far we've come. I mean, look at that thing.
Jesus, is heavy.
Don't get me wrong, I look at this thing and I think of the nostalgia factor of this.
It's still
and I love having this thing. But, that's... You could fit 3 of these things inside here.
Probably more.
So cool. Not to mention, one of the biggest things is having the spin-up hard drive.
Oh yeah.
Not having to worry about that. I actually have 2 arcades that live in this arcade, one being Rush and one being Carnival, that actually have spin-up hard drives in it.
Oh wow.
And I know at some point in the near future they will fail. And there are, thank God, there are modders out there that have put those things on a compact flash card that just plug in.
We've come a long way. I did this mod maybe 6 or 7 years ago with the hard drive, where I started dabbling in that, and it's amazing where we're at now. We have this big old spin-up drive, and then now we got this little SD card running the same mod on this.
And I love the fact that is a PlayStation 2.
It is, yeah.
It's not not that there's anything wrong with it really, but it's original hard.
And some of us, we love the PS2 Fat. We want to use it still. So
what's this?
Well, I want to, it's been 6-7 years. I needed to update the PS2 Fat mod.
Okay.
And I thought, what better to make it a more reliable console in the future than to put a solid state drive in it. So that little 2.5 solid state drive runs my mod.
2 terabyte.
Oh yeah, and I gotta show you. We use the GameStar adapter still. We still use the memory card on it. But this guy will load so much faster.
Yeah.
I mean, seconds and compared to...
So in case you do have your PS2 Fat, your original, and you still want to run this mod, you can still use the GameStar adapter. You can still use your free McBoot memory card.
Yep.
And now you don't have to worry about it being a big old hunkin' hard drive.
No.
Where does the future of a mod like this go? Have you ever thought to yourself, man, like, We've made the smallest PlayStation 2 possible. What about like the smallest Xbox possible?
You read my mind, Chris. That's exactly what I'm working on.
Okay.
My plan.
Because obviously the PlayStation 2 is very near and dear to my heart, but when that Xbox dropped, boy.
Xbox is dear to my heart. That's how I got into mod.
That's how you got into all this.
Exactly.
Yeah. What a neat way to have a PlayStation renaissance in rediscovering a lot of the maybe stuff that you didn't discover before. Maybe you're not rediscovering it. Again, maybe it's like me with my kids. My kids are gonna now get to play all these games. It's very similar to what Mod Retro has done with the Chromatic, right? Like they bring the Game Boy Color back in a way where it's like this plays all the original Game Boy Color games, and I'm like, oh, I feel like I missed a few of those, and now I'm discovering I've been playing through Sabrina the Teenage Witch on the Game Boy Color.
Really?
What a great game.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And there's so many of those on Mr. Mosquito.
I mean, this thing had the biggest library of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the biggest libraries of all time.
And it's the best-selling console.
And one of the best-selling consoles of all
Yeah.
time. I mean, it's an impressive console.
Yeah.
PS2 is very special, and yeah, I mean, what an awesome console. And
Yeah.
now an awesome tiny little console.
Just such a cool thing. I'm so happy to see this. If people have any questions about it, if they wanna do this to theirs, just email.
Yeah, shoot me an email, and if you're interested in doing this yourself and you need some instruction on how to get started, shoot us an email. We'd be happy to get back to you.
And that email is always in the description, but it's drmodslab@yahoo.com.
Yep.
All of those mods that we have, kind of shown off in the past, especially stuff like bringing your handhelds back to life.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite videos that we have shot together has been converting like an old Game Boy Advance, putting a new screen in it, putting a new shell on it, revitalizing. The one that always comes to mind is that one that was just completely destroyed. Like what a yuck.
Gross, man.
Yeah, or the the PS1.
I knew you were gonna say that.
The PS1 that had bugs inside of it. If you don't remember that video,
Yeah.
it was nasty. But like, bringing this stuff into a new age, into a new era, so new generations can love it. I just think is so cool. I really, really think it's awesome. And if you want to see one of those videos where Dr. Mod completely refurbishes one of the Game Boy Advances, you should check out that video right here. Because what you did to that thing.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool. And don't forget to follow along, because now that Dr. Mod has created some new things, there's going to be a lot more coming out of the lab in the very near future. Subscribe to the channel right here. And don't forget to click that little bell icon up there to be notified when new videos on stuff like this drops. And until next time.
I got to get back to the lab. I got more things to do.
Okay.